Blackwood, Pennsylvania, was the kind of town where everyone knew each other. Nestled between dense forests and rolling hills, it was a peaceful place, until the night of October 14, 2022. That night, the small town became the scene of one of the most brutal murder sprees in Pennsylvania's history. The residents of Blackwood had gathered at the local community hall for the annual autumn festival. Families laughed, children played, and the air was filled with the scent of caramel apples and roasted chestnuts. Among them was Detective Mark Reynolds, a 42-year-old veteran officer who had spent his entire career keeping Blackwood safe. He was there with his wife, Jessica, and their teenage daughter, Lily. Everything seemed perfect until 11:36 p.m. when the first scream shattered the night. The scream had come from Main Street, just a block away from the festival. Mark rushed toward the sound, his heart pounding. What he found would haunt him forever. Greg Sanders, the town's mechanic, was sprawled on the sidewalk, his throat slit wide open. His body was drenched in blood, and beside him lay a single playing card, the ace of spades. As Mark bent down to check for a pulse, another scream echoed through the air. This time, it came from the other side of town. Within the next 2 hours, 3 more bodies were discovered. Linda Parker, a 28-year-old librarian, found in the alley behind the bookstore, stabbed 17 times. Kevin Doyle, a retired schoolteacher, murdered in his own backyard, a plastic bag wrapped tightly around his head. Erica Mills, a college student, her body dumped in the creek, wrists bound with barbed wire. Each victim had something in common, a playing card left at the crime scene. By 3 a.m., the town was in full lockdown. Police swarmed the streets, sirens wailed, and residents locked their doors in fear. But the killer had already vanished into the night. As Mark and his team combed through the evidence, they discovered something chilling. All 4 victims had attended Blackwood High School between 1997 and 1999. The killer wasn't choosing victims at random. This was revenge. Mark pulled out the old yearbooks and began cross-referencing names. That's when he noticed something strange. Each of the victims had once been friends with a boy named Ethan Carter, a quiet, introverted student who had disappeared without a trace in 1999 after being accused of attacking a fellow student. But Ethan Carter had been presumed dead. At 5:12 a.m., Mark's phone rang. A distorted voice whispered, "You missed one, detective." Then the line went dead. A sinking feeling crept into Mark's stomach. There was still one more person from that group left alive. His own wife, Jessica. Mark raced home, his gun drawn. The front door was wide open, the living room lights flickering. A trail of bloody footprints led upstairs. In their bedroom, Jessica was tied to a chair, duct tape over her mouth. Standing behind her, holding a rusty hunting knife, was Ethan Carter, or rather, what remained of him. His face was gaunt, his eyes hollow, his skin pale like a corpse. "You thought I was dead," he whispered, "but I never forgot." Mark didn't hesitate. He fired 2 shots straight into Ethan's chest. The man staggered, choking on blood, and then collapsed to the floor. His reign of terror finally over. Jessica sobbed as Mark untied her, holding her close. Outside, sirens blared. The nightmare was over, or so they thought. 2 weeks after Ethan Carter's death, a package arrived at the police station. Inside was a single playing card, the Joker. And on the back, scrawled in dried blood, was a message. "You killed the wrong man." And that, my friends, is the terrifying story of the Blackwood Slaughter, a case that still leaves more questions than answers. Was Ethan Carter truly the killer? Or was there someone else pulling the strings? If you enjoyed this chilling true crime story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more haunting cases. Let me know in the comments, do you think the real killer is still out there? Stay safe and see you in the next video.